Hello and welcome to Mobility Outlook. Today we have a very special story to share in our Women in Mobility series. A gynecologist doctor who ventured into automobile dealership business after she lost her brother in a car accident. With now over 3 decades of experience and in working cities like Etah, Mainpuri and Agra, she has been expanding her business in cities like Delhi NCR now. Today, she would be talking about her journey so far and what are the learnings from Tier 2 cities for any automobile dealers. Welcome to the show, ma'am. Would you like to share any anecdotes of your initial years when you were trying to establish the business? What were you talking to your family? What was their reactions into the automobile dealership professionals working in the same domain? If you can give some anecdotes there.
Absolutely, after coming back from the medical college. So I did my MBBS, my master's in surgery, and I'm an obstetrician and a gynecologist. And then I went to US for further specialization. And I had to take over the business as soon as I came back. So for me, it was absolutely a new field where I didn't even knew that a vehicle, a Tata truck has got more than 4 tires, what is the wheel size, what are they used for, what is banking. I never knew anything about it because I belong to a very conservative Hindu family where the girls were not allowed into an automobile business. An automobile business was supposed to be with all truckers and they were not supposed to be very good society to move in. So my father never let us be into the dealership also. So when I came, it was absolutely a new field for me. But well, I had that dedication, I had that commitment that I have to take the business forward. And I have to live up to the dreams of my brother, which was there. See, our family is a very close-knit family, and the love and affection, the bondage between brother, sister, my brother whom I lost, my parents, my sister-in-law, my bhabhi, it was so much of love that they had given it to me that it was my intense desire to meet his expectation in terms of what the business would go forward with it. So with one pointed agenda, no, I have to live up with the expectations of the family. I moved ahead. I had that confidence that since I'm a doctor, I can take up any challenges in life. See, what medical profession teaches us is that you have to take the challenges and you have to do your best. So with that intent, I said, if others can be successful, why cannot I?
Any incident you can recall of your customers from the people come from Tata, a support incident, maybe something where your customer has said something which was not really well, did not go well with you in the initial years.
Yeah. Near about 2000, there was a shortage of the trucks. So they were on waiting list. I used to sit into the office and these customers used to come, the old customers from Manpuri, Etawah, they used to come and sit in front of me, talk of the relationship which they had with my brother and became very sentimental and as they speak, I used to sink back again into my well. I'm into my thoughts only because I used to go back. And there was a window in front of my office and Gadi, they used to take the preference from me, telling them the relationship and maybe karti thi, I used to give them a preference. But as soon as I saw one day, they are going out of the office and they didn't knew that it was silent and I could hear in the window, I could see, bana diya na pagal, gadi allot kara di na. So they were working on my sentiments. So these were the things which I had to face. And there were incidences at late in the night. The Manpuri is supposed to be a very notorious area. So again, it was a matter of that the allotment of vehicle had to be done. So it was 7 o'clock in the evening and my people were all not there. The office closes at 6:30, but I had a few people, the security people and my near and the staff was there. And these people from Manpuri, about 15 of them, with all guns on their shoulders and everything, they are sitting, madam, गाड़ी देती हो नहीं तो ट्रक आपके गेट के बाहर लगा दिया ना आप जाओगी ना हम जाएंगे हम बैठे हैं लाओ खाना मंगवाओ यहीं पर gave them कि she is not easily, she will not accept our pressures. So that was good for me because that set my reputation. Again, I tried for an revolver license and I got it. Then when I took over, and in this area of Etava, Manpuri, a lot of politicians are there, that muscle power. तो उनकी तो ईगो बिल्कुल हर्ट हो गई कि एंड व्हेन दे यूज्ड टू कम, मेरे ऑफिस में आते थे तो 15 सिक्योरिटी गार्ड्स लेकर आते थे. तो मैंने कहा कि यू आर एब्सोल्युटली, आई टोल्ड एब्सोल्युटली, इफ यू हैव टू कम टॉक टू मी, कम अकेले, don't come with all your security guards because it is like that is not the working environment. Whoever minister came, क्योंकि ज़्यादातर उस समय all the transporters were ministers and big people. So I used to tell them, एक महीना बड़े गुस्सा हुए कि अरे नहीं जी हम तो जाएंगे, मैंने कहा नहीं मैं मिलूंगी नहीं. I put my whatever my principles into place. That played a very big role.
Where did you drive all this inspiration, principles, and the strong personality that you have derived?
My father and my mother, they lived by what they said. So my father was a very simple person, not the business people of today, but he had his principles very strong in his head. Learn to say no, have ethics into the business. That is what he used to say. And he lived those principles. My mother, a simple lady, but she gave us the confidence, you can do whatever. Like today they speak of women's right, लड़का और लड़की का बराबर का दर्जा होना चाहिए. At my time, if I talk of 70s and 80s, when I was growing and my brother was growing, my brother was 3 years elder to me. He went to Michigan for his studies. I went into medicine for my studies. And no matter, I belong to a staunch Hindu Marwadi family, no matter what my family had to say. But my father ensured that that he gives me enough liberty to develop myself. Like I was passionate for my medicine. I was in 79, 80s when I was doing my medicine, I was driving my own car to the medical college, which was unheard of in those times. That is what I was doing. I was participating in car rallies as a lady. Himalayan car rally. I was a first lady, and I remember I had a Fiat at that time. And my brother said, "What are you doing?" He said, "No, if she wants to go, if you can go, she can also go." So I've been brought up in that sort of an environment where my father and mother never thought that a boy should be given more preferences or a girl. We right from the beginning, like, बेटी है तो क्या है इसको, she should. I was passionate about painting, and I think during those times my parents used to bring in professors and teachers कि भाई हमारी बेटी को थोड़ा सा सिखा दो और painting. So that is the sort of an environment I grew up in.
So while you were building this business, Ashok Group business of automobile dealership, somewhere there was a doctor inside you, who wanted to, who has studied abroad, spent around 7 years of education. And was there any hindrance in, your practicing? How did you balance between your practicing as a doctor versus the, this hardcore business?
So what I did, there was a canteen area of my dealership. It was a separate building, just a road dividing my dealership and the canteen area. So I converted that into a hospital. I have a trust, CSR activity I wanted to do as it is. So it was after my late brother and sister-in-law, Ashok Shruti Memorial Hospital. So I made that hospital, and mainly a gynecological and obstetrical hospital, so, and absolutely charitable. So through this, I was covering my medical interest. So I became the first lady to be the Rotary president. First lady to become a Rotarian, because usually the ladies don't become Rotarian. So I became a Rotarian, first Rotarian, and then I became the first lady Rotarian president. So in that, I took as a project 500 female operations in 1 year span of time, free of cost. So like this, so I did. I couldn't achieve 500 operations, but well, 350 odd numbers I did during that time. So I kept my passion alive. I was since it was in the same campus. That was essentially needed to keep my passion of medical practice. So I kept it alive during that time.
You have derived so much, if I can say, a lot of learnings from a medical profession.
See, in medicine, we work very hard, day and night. So, first of all, like 5 years, then house surgeon, then masters. So, we become used to working for 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours continuously. So, that is the first learning is that hard work. For 10 years, we have worked so hard that becomes your routine. So one is the hard work, and then I think education gives you that confidence, that you can do everything. So that hard work and the confidence in yourself that is required for any business. So that is what it gave me.
You have a daughter and a son, and when you started your business, I guess your daughter was 4 years old, and your son was around 2.5 years old. So, you were bringing up three children at the same time. How tough it was, and how did you manage your work-life balance as well as bringing up the child?
Yes, those initial 7 8 years were very tough because Pranati, as you know, she had lost both her limbs into the in the accident, both lower limbs amputated below the knee. So my parents had to be in US for the fitment of the artificial limbs. So for the next 7 years, they were for six months in US for the treatment. Bharat was 2 years, he was with me. So I was sitting like for 4 years, so I sat into the office. I was taking Bharat along with me to the office. I do not know. I do not know how you sleep with a pillow and a blanket. You wash your face and then sleep. These are the normal things which people do. I do not know how you sleep. I do not know if you have regular timings of food, because once out of the house, the children, the family, the business. So, but I enjoyed the entire thing. And the family was, my parents were very supportive. So it was my parents, my two children, me, and my business. So my whole life was focusing around it. And since I was very passionate and I had that, I have to take the family forward. I could not see that this incident which has happened in our family, as it is my parents were broken. So I had to stand up and take the lead. And my mother was also very strong. So, like, we didn't, right from the day this accident happened, we all said the roles in our lives have changed. Now we have to bring up the children, bring up the business. So, it was with the support of my parents that everything happened. It was difficult. Only after 10, 12 years.
So, do you remember that exact moment when you felt, after those 10 years, 12 years, that now, yes, that this is, that now I have come to a stable situation. Now the business have grown, children are also stable.
नहीं दीपांशु, वो मेरी ज़िंदगी में कभी नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि एक at one level I used to reach, I wanted to go to the next level, वो जैसे you want to expand further. So that situation never came where I said, okay, now relax, I have done what I wanted. Till today, it is I want to do more. कि बहुत सारी चीज़ करनी है, अभी भी मुझे ये लगता नहीं, मुझे लगता है कि मैंने कुछ भी नहीं करा, अभी तो बहुत चीज़ें करने को.
You have put so much hard work in those 10, 12 years. When did you thought, your business have started to expanding or started to fly the way you wanted to? What was the time and how did you do it?
मैं बहुत ambitious हूँ. आज के दिन भी मुझे नहीं लगता कि मेरा business fly कर रहा है. तो मेरे को तो एक छोटा सा incident देती हूँ. I'll give you a small incident. It was 3 years that I had joined, and I was looking into these 3 territories. I was looking into my sales figures, and I said, why our sales are so low in Manpuri, Etawah, Eta, Firozabad? Why are the sales so low? So they told me that there is no finance, no banks finance in these areas. So they don't have the availability of the finance, and so the vehicles don't sell out there. I immediately took 1 minute. I said, we can get our own finance company. Immediately, by evening, I called my CA. It was a gut feeling. Today they say, na, MBA, there is a process. You have to think here, pros and cons. For me, it was my gut feeling. Immediately, this was 2 o'clock. By 6 o'clock in the evening, I told my CA, form a Ashok Auto Finance and Leasing Company because I need to finance these customers. They told me, यहाँ पर, do you think you are bigger than the banks and the institutions, the private institutions who have been here for so many years? If they have not gone into that area, will you be able to do? I said, no, the customers who come are good to me and I need to get, that is a requirement of the business, I need to give them finance. I formed my finance company and it had such a wonderful portfolio. No outstanding whatsoever. And the business doubled and tripled because those people became those people of Manpuri, Eta and Etawah who were ruffians and not like they had their own good reputation, became my guarantors for other vehicles. So they formed a group by which they ensured that all the payment comes to me in time. It went so strong. Automobile business, the business grew. I was the first one to establish my dealership in Etawah because when I was doing that, people came and told my father, क्या कर रहे हो, बेटी को भेज रहे हो इटावा में, वहाँ तो 6 बजे के बाद कोई नहीं निकलता है और आपकी गाड़ियाँ तो वहाँ ले जाएंगे, पता भी नहीं चलेगा कहाँ ले जाएंगे. My father, the biggest thing is he let me do whatever I want. And there are times I made losses. It was not that it was a smooth journey all and I made certain decisions in which I lost terribly. But he said, this is the way. Never did he scold me or questioned what I was doing because he said, this is your learning process. The confidence which my parents had in me, that was amazing. And I will tell all parents now to have confidence. And once you have given them education, have confidence in what they are doing. And they will take you to the heights.
Coming back to the business of Ashok Auto, so how many dealership currently you have, which brands, and how do you see the coming future?
Like in the automobile segment, it is only, we are with Tatas only. So we have expanded with Tatas only because we didn't feel the desire to take any other brand because Tata was giving us all the expansions that was required, and I could not forget the support that Tata gave me in establishing myself into the business. If it was for any other company, I don't think so. I would have survived in this automobile field. At every angle, they taught me, like, it is like bringing up a child, कि भाई automobile business होता क्या है. So that bondage I have with Tata. So now we are in Agra, Eta, Etawah, Mathura, Firozabad, Auraiya, Hathras. Recently, 3 years back, we have expanded to Noida, Greater Noida, Ghaziabad. So we have these 11, 12 prime districts of Western UP where we are representing Tata Motors.
How many outlets you have?
By now we have 10, 11 outlets.
What have your experience, learnings, which any other automobile dealership business or owner should learn so that they can expand their businesses and grow their businesses?
Ethical business, grounded business. You should know your finances well. And ethics is very, very important because if you do ethical business, you know your finances well, you plan your finances, and you have to know your business from the bottom, because I feel I had the strength because I started at the ground level. I stood into the workshops because I never knew how servicing is done, and as a doctor I wanted to know everything. I could have skipped that part, but I stood there into the workshops, I've been into each and every field. I learned about the vehicles. Today I know about all the vehicles. if we are doing any business, we should know that business right from top to bottom. We should know the finances, we should actually know the market, we should actually know, should be convinced with the products which we have. So you have to know your business, you have to work hard, you can't take anything for granted. And knowing the finances, ethical business, financial strength, and not going beyond stretching yourself into the showman world, which automobile dealerships easily do with a lot of funds available to them. You are easily swept into utilizing it in different ways.
In one part of the world, there is a lot of digitization happening. Especially in the metro cities, there is these terminologies of digital showrooms, compact showrooms. How do you see for tier one and tier two cities like Agra, Etah, Mainpuri? How do you see this transformation? And where do what is your viewpoint here?
Yes, digitalization in the educated lot. Like I have both the commercial business and the passenger car. So digitalization in the passenger division is playing a big role because the educated people are there, the city people are there. In terms of when we talk of the commercial vehicles, it has come in, but it is relatively slow. So we do have a digital arm, and I believe that digital marketing is going to play a very big role. See, at least in B and C cities, we do have the availability of the spaces and the showrooms, and the distances are not that, and the traffic is also good. So people want to have the show room experience. But in major cities, like if you talk of Delhi, Bombay, any major cities, traveling that distance means means a lot of time wastage, where people want to have the virtual experiences also. Like our company is also saying that in bigger cities, you could have virtual experience centers. And many of the people we do have, like we have a digital arm also. And I feel all of us should go in for that digital arm extended, because we can both reach out to the people, and also people can reach out to us. So it will become a very important part. We are seeing that transition slowly.
You have been handling such a diverse range of cities, like Noida, Ghaziabad are quite different from what is Etah, Mainpur is, and the kind of manpower is also different. So manpower challenges are different. In terms of from the manpower point of view, what kind of leadership mantra you have followed so that you are able to manage the dealership better?
So you have to change. Again, the mantras, it is not like, since I am not an MBA, I have been doing things with my gut feeling and with the human approach. So I think the best thing is you have to have a human approach. You have to change with the place. Like if I say for the Ashok Auto Sales Agra, the older dealership which my father used to run. So here it is more of a bondage, it is more of a personal relationship that the people care for. They are not so much materialistic, but it is relationship which matters. But when I see Ghaziabad, Noida, Greater Noida, no relationships, it is the money which matters. You should be able to meet their expectations. So you have to use different mantras everywhere. Somewhere it has to be the relationship mantras, somewhere it has to be the money mantra. Somewhere it has to be a bondage mantra. So you have to change. You have to be versatile in your approach.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining in today.
Thank you. Thank you. It was wonderful repeating all the experiences. I've gone back 35 years from where I started. Thank you so much, Devanshu.